Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Baker and Baird podcast. I'm Luke Baird, and this is my partner, Nick Baker.
What's going on, everyone? Today's podcast is going to be centered around the Office on Aging and specifically focusing on the Grandparents as Parents program.
The Grandparents as Parents program is ran by Tracy Van de Vade out of the Office on Aging at the Community Action Committee building. Enjoy the interview, everybody.
It takes a little bit of time out of your day, but it helps us a lot.
You're very welcome. So anything to promote my program and the Office on Aging. So.
Okay, so to start off, can you just kind of give us what the Office on Aging's maybe mission statement is, or kind of what the goal is here around the office?
So the Office on Aging is part of a larger public nonprofit, which is CAC of Knoxville and Knox County. And so we're one of the parts of CAC. Our biggest program and probably our most widely known program is Mobile Meals. And so a lot of people connect us with that very easily. The mission of the Office on Aging is to serve all seniors regardless of their life circumstances, and particularly we look to serve those that have the greatest hardship, whether it's they are poor, frail health, or they're alone. And so those are the people that we want to serve, but we serve all seniors regardless in the Office on Aging.
So if you don't mind, share with us just a little bit more about the Grandparents as Parents program, because I know that's something that is at least relatively new to the Office on Aging, and we'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
The Grandparents as Parents program is one that began in about 2000, and it is in response to the ballooning number of grandparents and other relatives that are finding themselves raising children again, unfortunately. And according to the U.S. Census, there are more than 2.7 million grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, that they are the primary parent for their grandchildren. And in the state of Tennessee, there are about 76,000 grandparents raising their grandchildren. And that doesn't include aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews that may be raising a family member that is not their own child. In Knox County, it's estimated there are about 4,000 grandparents in Knox County alone. So that gives you kind of an idea of the magnitude of the situation that we have. So in 2000, a grant was written with the Brookdale Foundation to provide us seed money to begin a Grandparents as Parents program here in Knoxville. And we do many things. We provide referrals for families to make connections to agencies, other nonprofits, faith-based organizations. We also have a monthly support group meeting that's educational based, where we have a guest speaker come, and we usually do that on the last Tuesday of the month. And then we also have we have some nightly educational support group meetings. Most of those talk about legal issues that grandparents may face, which are many and broad, usually dealing with custody or adoption issues that they may be facing. We also have a grandparents guidebook, which there's only 2 in the state at this particular moment in time, and we have one of them. And it provides it's a good tool and a good resource for families. It provides general information and contact information about a whole variety of different topics.
Mm-hmm. Why is it important that these parents or old parents are becoming parents again? I don't even know how to even describe it. Why is it important that these people are educated on how to parent in today's day and age if they didn't, the last time they did it and their last time their kid was in high school was like in the 80s or something?
It is very difficult. So parenting again, a lot of times they have challenges of working with the school system because they don't understand all the changes that have happened in 10, 15, 20, some even 30 years are removed from the school situation, and a lot of things are done they're technology oriented now. Grades are posted online, and one of a lot of my grandparents, they're like, oh, my classroom teacher uses Dojo. What is that? And the curriculum is very different than it was 30 years ago, and they find that it's a much more challenging situation. And then a lot of times the grandparents feel isolated. They're not the parents, and you might be in your 70s, or we have grandparents even in their 80s, and they have a first grader or a kindergarten, and so they feel really out of place in the school system and how to communicate with that teacher. A lot do not do email. The technology resources aren't available to them, so there's a huge communication gap with the school system. Discipline is very different. Kids, the high schoolers and junior high have everybody has to have a cell phone, and grandparents, how do you deal with the cell phone, and how do you deal with social media? So those are kind of extremely important issues about how do you make the ground rules and to keep kids safe with the technology that they're having to use today.
Have you found technology to be a problem with some of your clients?
Some struggle with it. Some are extremely good with it. They've gotten to be very good with the social media and communicating by email. But for a lot of them, that face-to-face meeting with a teacher or guidance counselor really sometimes bridges that gap. And so even if they're very good with technology, I always encourage them to make an independent meeting face-to-face with the teacher or someone within the school system so that they can feel better connected.
So with the holiday season fast approaching, does the Office on Aging, or grandparents as parents in particular, do y'all have any particular programming or anything of that nature on the schedule?
In the end of the month after Thanksgiving, we'll have an event and it talks about autism, and we're having a guest come and speak about autism. But then our big event will be December the 11th, which will be a holiday event. We have somebody that's going to come and talk about healthy eating for the holidays, which is real important. Grandparent health is very important because if they're not healthy, then they cannot take care of their grandchildren. And then we will have, if families need extra food for the holidays, or we'll have some empty stocking fund baskets available if they didn't make the empty stocking fund list this year. We'll also have a few extras just available for families that may need something just a little bit extra. So we'll have that for the holidays coming up, and then getting ready to start January with our new support group.
How many do you have in your clientele that know?
We currently have about a little more than 300 client families that have enrolled in the Grandparents as Parents program. You don't have to be a senior, even though we're part of the Office on Aging. This program is for any age, and there's no income restriction to it. We provide families with a monthly newsletter, and then I can help connect them to resources that they may need. We have a couple of new things that are going to be up and coming. We are partnering with the UT Psychological Clinic to bring weekly therapy group sessions to our program.
All right, that should be all. Once again, thank you so much for doing this and helping us out, and hopefully you have a great holiday season.
And we appreciate you supporting the Office on Aging.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and a special thanks to Tracy Vandevate for taking time out of her day to help us out.
For more information about the Office on Aging, the Grandparents as Parents program, or for volunteer opportunities, go to knoxseniors.org or call 865-524-2786.
The Office on Aging is located at 2247 Western Avenue here in Knoxville.
This has been the Baker and Baird podcast. We'll see you next time.
Later.